Welcome to I Love English TV.
Let me ask you a question. Why are you still not fluent in English? You've studied, you've practiced, you've tried again and again, but when it's time to speak, you hesitate, you overthink, you translate, and suddenly everything feels hard. Here's the truth. It's not your fault. It's your brain. You were never trained to think in English. In this episode, you will discover a different way, a smarter way to learn, a deeper way to understand. You will learn how to reprogram your mind to think in English naturally. No translation, no fear, no overthinking. Just flow, just clarity, just confidence. So, in the next 4 weeks, I am going to guide you step by step to rebuild your thinking system in English. Not by memorizing, not by grammar rules, but by training your brain the way it was designed to learn. Now, take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin. Part 1. How your brain really learns a language. Let's understand something important. Your brain does not learn language the way you think. It doesn't memorize words. It doesn't store grammar rules and use them in real time. That's not how it works. Your brain learns through patterns. Not single words, but connected sounds. Connected meanings, real situations. Think about this. When you hear a phrase like, "I'm going to go," you don't stop to analyze each word. You don't think about grammar, you just understand. Why? Because your brain has seen this pattern before. Again and again and again. And over time, it becomes automatic. That's the goal. Not to remember English, but to recognize it. Not to translate, but to respond. But here's the problem. Most people train their brain the wrong way. They focus on words, rules, translation. So when it's time to speak, the brain slows down. It searches. It doubts. It hesitates. Because it was never trained for speed. It was trained for thinking, not speaking. And that's why you feel stuck. Not because you are bad at English, but because your brain is following the wrong system. The good news? You can change that. You can train your brain to process English faster. More naturally, almost automatically. And it starts with one simple shift. Stop learning English as information. Start experiencing it as a language. Part 2. How to reprogram your brain for English. So, how do you actually retrain your brain? Not with more effort, but with a better system. Here's how it works. Step 1. Smart input. Stop consuming random content. Your brain needs input it can understand. Not 100% easy, not 100% hard. Just enough to follow and stay curious. Because when you understand, your brain learns faster. Step 2. Repetition. Not boring repetition. Focused repetition. Listen to the same phrases again and again. At first, it feels slow. Then something changes. The sentence becomes familiar, then automatic. That's how patterns are built. Step 3. Shadowing. This is where everything shifts. Don't just listen. Speak. Repeat the sentence with the speaker. Same speed, same rhythm, same emotion. At first, it feels uncomfortable. But this is how your brain adapts. This is how fluency begins. Step 4. Think in English. Start simple. Very simple. I'm tired. I'm tired. I need water. I need water. I have work. I have work. Small thoughts every day. Because fluency is not speaking perfectly, it's thinking without translation. Step 5. Daily exposure. Your environment matters. Change what you see, what you hear, what you follow. English should not be a lesson. It should be part of your day. Even 10 minutes every single day is enough to rewire your brain. This is the system. This is the system. Simple but powerful. If you follow it, your brain will change. Slowly at first, then suddenly. And one day, you'll realize something. You're not translating anymore. You're just understanding. Let me tell you something. Fluency is not a skill. It's an identity. You don't become fluent because you studied more. You become fluent when your brain accepts that this language is part of you. Right now, every time you try to speak English, there's a voice in your head. What if I make a mistake? What if I sound wrong? What if they don't understand me? So you stop. Not because you can't speak, but because you're afraid to try. But here's the truth. Every fluent speaker you admire was once exactly where you are. Confused, slow, unsure. The only difference? They kept going when it felt uncomfortable. You don't need more time. You don't need more talent. You need a decision. A decision to show up every day. Even when it's hard, even when it's messy, even when it's not perfect. Because this is how change happens. Not in one big moment, but in small choices, repeated every day. And one day, without realizing it, you'll understand a sentence without thinking. You'll respond without translating. You'll speak without fear. And in that moment, you won't say, "I learned English." You'll say, "This is who I am now." So don't chase perfection. Don't wait for confidence. Build it. One sentence. One moment. One day at a time. Start today. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. Because your future self is already waiting for you on the other side of this decision. Before we end, this is just the beginning. Over the next 4 weeks, I'll guide you step by step to reprogram your brain for English. Week by week, you'll stop translating, start thinking, and speak more naturally. Just 4 episodes can change everything. Don't miss the next one.